Okay, Fahey is my name. I work for a company called Horizon Offsite Limited. We're a structural light gauge steel system based in Cahir in County Tipperary. I suppose we're relatively new. We set up our business in May 2017. The people within the business are in the business a long time. So we all originate from fusion back many years ago. We've got a facility in Cahir which is about 3,000 square meters. It's got X amount of office space. Initially it was a timber frame facility, so it was ideal really for us because when we went into it, it was set up with gantry cranes and the like, and it's very convenient because it's literally off the motorway. So we're an hour and a half from Dublin, we're very close to Limerick, we're very close to Cork, and obviously we're very close to the ports getting stuff to the UK. There's 4 guys that set up the business. There's myself, the managing director, there's Tom and Martin Luddy, and there's Sean Dalton, who's our finance director. That's just giving a spiel on us. It's just saying that we're in the business a long time. Sean hasn't given me a picture yet, so when he does, I'll stick it up there. But we bring probably varying disciplines to our business, where I've been involved in design, marketing, commercial management. The guys have been involved in site. Martin has been involved in site a long time, and Tom has been involved in operations. So really we bring all the traits that we need for our business. Okay, what is offsite? Excuse me now if we're going to repeat it a little bit, because it's the game. People's perception of offsite sometimes is cabins, temporary accommodation, and that has a place in the market, but that's not the offsite that we're involved in. So basically, the offsite that Horizon is involved in is structural certified light gauge steel systems. That can be, you can do whatever you want. There's also modular in the business. People spoke about vision. I worked for John Fleming for 10 years. John is really leading the way in modular construction in the UK. So our gig is structural offsite systems. So types of offsite. There's lots of offsite systems in the market. There's panelized units, which are produced in a factory environment and assembled on site. That's us, creating structures on site. There's volumetric construction, which is basically full volumetric, produced in a factory and sent to site. There's different types of hybrids. There's floor, there's roof cassettes, there's precast, there's ICF. So there's quite a lot of systems on the market. And us in Horizon, we're promoters of offsite, so we promote offsite systems. So we're always promoting offsite because there is a big market both here in the UK, and there's plenty of room for everyone in it. Some of the systems: timber, light gauge steel, precast concrete, lightweight modular structures, the hot rolled steel modular systems with concrete slab, which is division modular, and some ICF foundation systems. So there's a lot of stuff on the market at the moment. So what is light gauge steel? So light gauge steel really is, it's a rapid method of constructing structures ranging in height from single-story units to multi-story buildings. At the moment in the UK, we've got SCI accreditation to 10 stories. In Ireland, we're accredited to 6 stories, but we're just waiting on our NSAI cert for 10 stories. The structures are formed from cold steel sections assembled into panels. The panels are shipped to site for assembly to form buildings. And light gauge steel is one of the methods referred to as MMC. Okay, what does Horizon do? So we've 2 systems really on the market. We've a structural system, so it's a fully structural system that we fully design everything, we manufacture it, and we ship it to site, and we install it on site, and we sign it off. So we call that our structural system. That's the majority of work we do. Up to 10 stories in the UK and 6 in Ireland at the moment, and will be 10 very soon. We've got an infill system. So we have a preformed insulated panel that really infills between concrete buildings, hot rolled steel buildings. We can do various finishes on that, so we can put boards on it, we can take it to certain levels depending on what the client wants. So this is basically what we do. We fully design everything. We procure the steel. We put the steel through our roll formers. The steel components are produced. We assemble them into different panels, internal, external, non-load bearing, load bearing. We assemble floors. We put it on a truck. We ship it to site. We offload it on site, and we install it. So it's a full system from design to install on site. I suppose our design, Offsite is all about design, and you'll see at the end of this some of the challenges we have at the moment are design. Everything is, design is critical to an offsite process and to offsite working. So we've got in-house chartered engineers. We work under our own PI. We've got our own draftspeople. We use three-dimensional technology to frame our systems, which can be imported into Rivet and BIM. A lot of guys use that in the UK at the moment. There's some people using it in Ireland. So all our design is done in-house. We take the architect's design, because we're not the designers of the building, but we're the designers of our system. So we take the architect's design and we create three-dimensional structural models based on that design, designed by us. You'll see on the bottom there, there's two pictures. There's one as a frame model, and that's the building that's being constructed on site. Everything to do with offsite and to do with any type of build needs to be built to specification and to performance. We're no different. We get a specification at the start of a building. We have to comply with that in terms of U values, in terms of air changes, in terms of sound, and in terms of fire, and in terms of structure. No different. So again, the perception that offsite is temporary, it's out the window, because we have to deal with the same as anyone else, and we do. The benefits of offsite, we've gone through them here today, but just to go through them again. The speed of build. We can build things quicker on site. Reduce prelims. If you get offsite quicker, you're going to reduce your site costs. It's simple. Structural. With our system, it's steel. So in terms of settlement issues, in terms of dimensional accuracy, fast drying out floor spans, again, we've gone through them on lightweight structures. Fire rating, it's steel. We've done all the accredited fire tests. We're still doing tests. We're going to keep doing them, because the market keeps evolving all the time in terms of non-combustibility. So we're constantly doing R&D in our product. Durability, it's long lasting. Health and safety, from our system, we've an excellent record in health and safety, which is paramount to our business, because everything we do is very light, it's very dry. We go on site with 4 guys or 5 guys, and we erect houses. So we don't have a lot of labour. So we're at no accidents since we started. So we've whatever. I should have put the stats up there. So sustainability, big thing right now, which is the right way to be. So we can achieve whatever rating you want. A high percentage of steel is recycled. Reduce foundations, reduce concrete, less disturbance and noise on site, structural efficiencies. So again, it's ticking all the boxes right now for sustainability. There's just a picture on the bottom there showing you different types of offsite, where you have 1D, 2D, and 3D. So the 2D is what we do. So it's on average we'll get 2 units on a truck going to site. We spoke about them, and it's good that some of the actual figures here match up with the guys before me, so, which is good. The growth opportunities within our market at the moment, or the issues within our market, is the skilled labour, is the lack of it. The potential safety rate, the unrealistic pressure to complete projects and programs. They're getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Quality issues, snags, financial variations. Again, factory controlled product, easier to deal with. Fire issues and detailing, which is ongoing all the time in terms of fire stopping, cavity closing, fire rating your walls inside out, outside in. again, factory controlled products can deal with it. The market, there's 250,000 or more houses to be built in the UK per annum. There's 30 or 35,000 houses to be built in Ireland per annum. So again, as the guy said before, the offsite is a solution, right? But it's not the only solution. It's a part of solving this problem. The above figures do not include schools, care homes, hotels, apartments, etc. So there's lots and lots of stuff to be built right now. Our traction to date, right? We came from the industry. So when we set up our business, within 2 months we were building stuff, mainly in the UK. We targeted the UK from the off. So we were building a lot of stuff in the UK. But as the company has evolved, we're probably building more in Ireland right now. Because we've come from the industry, we've really employed some of the top people because they've been in the industry and we know them. So we've brought in designers with experience. We've brought in project managers with experience, and they're building teams underneath them. We've achieved NSCI to 18 metres at the moment, and our revised standard is going to 30 metres. We've CE marking, we've SCI, we've tested our walls, internal, external, floors, fully loaded and fully serviced. We've saved T-cert, so we've put a lot of work into accreditations, and that's not going to stop. We're going to keep getting accreditations, testing our product. The guys in County Tipperary, even though I'm a Limerick man, we got lots and lots of awards at the start, which was great because it really gave us a good stance. I'm just going to show you some projects. So these are some case studies that we would have done and started off. In the UK, we build a lot of rooftop developments because we're light. So the project on the left is a 2-story roof. It makes it easier for the guys going onto existing buildings. Again, we can put certain finishes onto it. So we boarded that one and the client came on site and insulated it. So we really can take it to wherever the client wants. The project on the right is a job that we have completed in Ramsgate in the UK. It's X amount of apartments and some social housing. Again, went very well. This was a project we did about 1.5 years ago, which was really a tester project for us. And I suppose it's something that we're always looking at. We're always looking at the satellite factory and setting up the satellite factory, because Offsite is all about the design hub, but where you produce product, it really doesn't make a difference. So this was a project we did in Malta. We designed everything in Care. We rolled the 2D components, we shipped everything to Malta, and we erected it on site. And it worked very well. So it was a tester for us. At the time, it was from a satellite factory and also from a Brexit point of view. We were seeing would this work, and it did. We could be out in Malta building hotels now if we wanted to, but right now it doesn't really suit us to be out there building them. Just different projects that we have done. Apartments in the UK, rooftop developments, some social housing in Tipperary, more apartments in the UK. So again, what this is showing you is in Offsite, we love boxes, but unfortunately we don't get many of them anymore. So from a frame solution, we can cater for what the design throws at us. Another social project in Baltinglass. Again, we can do this one is with steel trusses. We pre-board gables, we fire rate gables. We put different things onto the house subject to what the client wants. So again, we can take it to varying finishes. I suppose the big issue with this project specifically was this was an external masonry finish. We had something like 35 or 36 houses erected, and the blocks weren't started on the first one. So it's just showing you the lack of the lack of skilled labour in the country, because really to utilise an offsite system, you need to be behind it. So you need to be putting your windows in, you need to be getting the mason, you need to be closing it up. If you're not putting blocks on it for 3 months, do you know what, it defeats the purpose. Some private housing in Cork, and this was a real interesting one for me, because when I worked with John Fleming in Fusion a long time ago, we built hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of houses in Cove in Cork. And this is literally this was the add-on to it, which was designed for John Fleming, but was built by another contractor. So the whole site here was built in LGS. So we went and we just kicked off and started building the rest of it again. So it went very well for the contractor. Again, some rooftop developments in Watford. Tricky project off the main street or the high street in Watford. So again, really the only way of building this was an offsite solution. This one we put boards, we put some brick slip on it. We did some different things to this because the whole thing here was do as much offsite as possible. Some apartments in Ipswich, in Felixstowe, Ipswich. Again, you saw the three-dimensional model of it prior to that. So again, seeing all the various designs. The hotel down the road. So we built an extension to Lawlor's, which was 60 plus beds onto the back of it. It's probably bigger than the existing hotel. Incorporating concrete floors, again incorporating some boards. So again, utilizing design. Okay, I'll run through this quickly. We've all gone through it where every magazine at the moment is telling us that we need X amount of houses and we haven't the capacity to build them. So offsite really has to be utilized to be part of the solution to solve this. We need 500,000 houses by the year 2031. So that's what the stats are telling us, and that's going up. So we have to grab offsite to solve to partly solve that problem. Again, in the UK, it's the same. There is a demand for units, and they're not being built. Again, it's just saying the same thing. I suppose the difference, maybe it's not a difference, but I suppose in the UK there is a drive for offsite, and there is a push to utilise offsite. Maybe not so much at the moment in Ireland. I'm just going to show you some key applications of offsite. I suppose some of these they were with my Fusion days, some of them are not. So it gives you an idea of what can be built. Two-storey housing. This is a job in Kinsale that was done in light gauge steel. Contemporary developments in the UK. Again, different finishes, balconies, projections. It can be done. Adamstown in Dublin. We went on to Adamstown about 10 or 8 years or whatever it was, and there was 10,000 units to be built on site. So we were saying, park the sales for a couple of years were great, but obviously there was issues after that. So we built about, I think we built about 900 units maybe, or thereabouts, before the industry imploded. But again, different forms. We built 2-storey, 3-storey apartments. Starter homes, again, different finishes. At the moment we're exploring finished panels. We're exploring putting different finishes onto panels. So it's possible. This was John Fleming's hotel in Photo in Cork, built out of light gauge steel, with concrete floors, so off a podium slab. So again, it's a faceted building, it's a curved building, but it was built out of light gauge steel. Care homes, built lots of them in the UK. We're looking at lots of them in Ireland. Dad and student accommodation seems to be the big driver at the moment. And hotels. You saw the hotel down the road. It's a no-brainer to build hotels in Offs because it's quick, and it's all about getting heads on the beds. And our infill system. Depending on the height of the building, putting panels in, different varies of finishes, boarded, not just panel itself, panel with a board, panel with an insulation and a board, VPMs, different. We can really do what the client wants. I suppose challenges, right? You see design, 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 right? That's, I suppose, our biggest challenge right now in Offsite. And it's not that design is difficult, it's getting the time in design, because there is a culture that the procurement is lastminute.com all the time, and we struggle with that, because Offsite is all about design. It's all about having the correct time at the design phase to build it on your computer, make the mistakes on your computer, and send it to a factory. If that's squez, you have issues. And normally in Ireland, that is squez. People see the end date, the start date keeps moving, so the design bit is squez. Early involvement, which is design. It's procurement. People they won't commit until the last minute. Commercial terms, because we're Offsite, there's deposits. And it's that culture. It's the culture in Ireland where, why should I give you money because you've done nothing? And that's the culture. So we encounter that all the time, and we have to try to solve that all the time, because we're an Offsite, so we produce everything in a factory prior to going to site. So we're not doing nothing. It's actually produced, but it's sitting in the factory. And the understanding of Offsite. We put some slides up at the start where people's perception and understanding of Offsite. And I get it all the time, the same as everyone, where guys come in and jump on the floors and shoulder the walls just to see that will it actually stand up, right? It does. I'll give you one example. We did a job in the UK back a while back, and we brought some guys in from abroad, and they literally gave 25 minutes jumping around the floor and shouldering walls. Couldn't budge it, but that was the perception. So it's understanding and perception, and I think they're really our challenges right now. They're the challenges that we encounter on a daily basis, but as an Offsite manufacturer, they're the challenges that we need to solve. And I think if we can solve them, and I think Offsite then has a real part to play in solving some of the issues in terms of housing. Yeah. That's it, and it worked. So.